Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Marketing Monday. Welcome to my marketing live tonight. So, without me being redundant, okay, so tonight's topic is going to be building your marketing system. I have kind of talked about this in different avenues as far as me having to create my own system, creating systems for other people, as far as my clients, and ultimately creating a system that can give them the results that they are asking for. So I decided to make a talk about that tonight. So if you do come on here, I'm going to pin a comment, which will actually be a question to find out what are the results you are looking for when it comes to your business. You know what I'm saying? What is it you're doing? So this way you can know how to create your system. What are the results you are looking for in your business? All right, and put that there. Then we're going to pin that. Okay. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Jay, and I am it's a lot of stuff. I'm a photographer, videographer, and marketing strategist. My goal is to ensure that I am helping personal brands to make money while using their own content. That's it, plain and simple. Okay. So I am here because I wanted to touch up on the specifics of building a system and the importance of why you need a system. So a lot of times, a lot of us, we may just kind of post when we see fit. We may be in the mood to possibly post, and sometimes we're not in the mood, so we don't post. And that is not necessarily the best way to create a system, because you are just simply just posting just to post, but there is no actual set intention on why you're posting and where it's going. All right. Hey B, how you doing? Thank you so much for coming through, Miss Chocolate. So I appreciate you coming through tonight. I'm just asking people what they're looking for in their business to build results, so that way we can start create a system. Ultimately, everybody needs a system. So if you're trying to get like more sales, more shows, you're trying to get more bookings, what would that look like, and how we can put something together so that you have a system in place to get you those bookings, right? For example. So with that being stated, I'm going to talk to you guys, of course, about why I'm starting backwards. So for me personally, I feel like it makes sense for me to reverse engineer this thing because of the fact that I know what I want to see. Now I just have to tweak and work backwards to get the results that I want to get when it comes to based on what my wants are. Right? Does that make sense? So in this case, right, for some of us, again, examples could be booking clients. You might be wanting to sell some products. You might be wanting to get an event to be sold out, right? That would be a result, okay? And then we're going to see what steps do we take to go backwards, all right? And before I do, I can even give you guys an example. So when it comes to something in my business, all right? So what I do in my personal business is I have clients or I work with them and a variety of different things. So in this case, for me, my result would be I would definitely want more booking clients, or in this case specifically, I would want more reoccurring clients. Okay, what does that look like? Now, for me, of course, the that would be the result, but how do I get there would be the dilemma. Okay, so it could be a sense of, do I need to DM more people? Do I need more events? Do I need to reach clientele that I already have? Do I need to ask questions on what I did to help them to get to where they are? How do they find me, and be able in how I was able to ultimately give them a great experience, right? So these are going to be some things that can help me. So once I decide, okay, I've tried the DMing, okay, I've tried reaching out to people that I worked with in the past, I've gotten some feedback, I've gotten some reviews, now I can put those into action, and I can ultimately run with the things that I actually have worked and the things that are not working that may ultimately make me waste time. Okay, so that would be the way that I personally would set that up to get started. So in this case, for that example, of course, you've got people that will discover your content. So from what I'm doing, I'm posting content. Where are my clients going to be found, right? They'll be found on social media, for example, or they'll be found in Google, right? So this will be that thing, okay? And I may have to unplug this. So this will be that thing, okay? Having to decide where my clients are. So now that I know, okay, my clients are going to be on social media, this is also where I need to be at. So that's going to mean I'm going to need to show up on social media more. That means I'm going to have to post more. I'm going to have to reach out to more people. I'm going to have to comment on the people's posts. I'm going to have to share people's posts. I'm going to have to do reposting, like really get active, share things on my stories. And keep in mind, these are all things that I actually do. And the more you do them, people will obviously see that you are someone that actually keeps up with this on a consistent basis. Okay, so over time, because they're seeing this, you're building the trust with them. So now they know you as that person that always posts. So they know you as that person that ensures that you're going to show up and you're going to do what you said you're going to do. So you're not going to have any issues when it comes to that. So on top of that, they get to see your work. They get to see how you work. So in my case, they get to see the results of my content. They get to see the behind the scenes of my work. They will also be able to see what my products are, what my equipment is like, what my clients are doing. You see, so they get a really inside, in-depth look at my business and my brand, so that it makes them easier and more accessible to be able to really want to work with me. Okay. Then eventually they start asking you questions. Then once they start asking you questions, then those questions will ultimately lead into somebody being booked. Okay, so I can get booked based off of that. Now that is just simply an example, just using my own business as the example. Okay, and I could even go into, when we go into the my system and how I actually work with my system. Okay, so this will be the steps going backwards, was the ones I just explained to you, and how to book more videography clients. Now, if I want to break down my personal system for my business and how it's more than just me booking clients, now it's also on the educational side. What does that look like? Okay, that could be in a sense of me creating content, getting people that can see that I know what I'm talking about when I am talking about a specific subject, having the authority in that topic, right? So me, I'm educating myself. I have the knowledge. I have the experience. So again, building more of that trust, all right? And then, of course, again, you can go into the DMs, because now people are going to respond. They're going to ask me questions. I might even start getting coaching calls, which I have had in the past, because people have seen me show up so much teaching this thing. Then they're like, oh, shit, I need to reach out to them because they know what they're talking about. Now we can have a sit-down conversation one-on-one and see what it is you're doing and what you need to do and how to ultimately get the next step for you getting your results. So where I would normally go through to be able to get people that want to find me on the educational aspect, where does everybody go when they want to watch something and learn something, right? YouTube or TikTok in this case. Even Instagram, but we know TikTok and YouTube are gonna be the top ones. So where am I gonna want to ensure that I'm posting content at? TikTok and YouTube. So when I take the time to create the content and post it on those specific platforms, they will grow. And believe me, they have grown. I have done all those things and I actually do that as consistent as I possibly can. And I have been seeing attention grown from it, even following grown from each platform, because I have been posting on those things as often as I can, okay? And then ultimately, after I create those shorts, those reels, where do I want them to ultimately go to get a deeper dive? And in my case, as you guys might see in my call to action, it's usually my Patreon, right? I might say, hey, you can go to YouTube for the replay or something, because I know that's where the majority of my marketplace is going to be at. But for those that really want to get in depth and more specific, you're going to go to Patreon. You're going to go in there and ask me questions, see my tutorials, see my step-by-steps that'll be in there as they come, right? So it's a funnel in itself. It's a funnel that is explaining to you, this is what I want you to do, because this is where I want you to be at the end of the day. Same thing when it comes to you building an email list. If you understand how to build an email list, typically people want some free shit. If you have something available for everybody to get for free, they're going to jump on that free thing if they follow your steps to be able to get that free thing. The easiest thing you can say is, hey, if you want to get this free thing, go ahead and sign up for my email list. Boom. Follow me on Instagram. Boom. Put a comment put a comment in the comment section. Tag your friend. That's 3 things right there. And typically, you kind of want to make them do a little more than just one thing, so you can ensure you're meeting your goals, for one, and for two, that it's not so easy that, for one, you might lose them as not only as a follower, but you might lose them in the sense of they might not take it as serious because all they had to do was just like the post. All they had to do was just follow your page. So they might not even see you no more, and you don't even know who they are because they never commented. They didn't give you an email. So all 3 of these things need to be done so they can match the results and the rules that you have set in place. It's like, and this is more of a technical term, a technical thought process. It's like when you are creating an automated bot. Typically, if you want to make sure that automated bot is working, you are going to have rules and triggers in place that lets people know, like, hey, once I see somebody that comments more info, for example, which is a very common one, more info or menu or something like that, it's going to trigger the system to send them an email, a DM, for example, right? Or another comment under that particular comment. So that is this, in this sense, it is its own way of having its own system where it's triggering certain things because you have met all the rules. Does that kind of make sense on how, when it comes to marketing and creating that system, or ultimately creating a funnel that attached to your system to be able to give you the result that you want? Because everything has to be done in a certain place, and you have to understand when to do it and how. If you're just posting, just doing things at will, the system will fail, or rather, there is no system to work at all. So we're trying to make sure we're building you an actual system. All right, I'll give you guys another example. Okay, so when it comes to my client, Jada LaPearl, so we can go this on many different avenues. All right, one of the most common ones that I can break down for you is her as a performer. Okay, and that's, I won't say the easiest ones, and the only reason is because of the fact that I have followed her career for a very long time, really since the beginning. So because of that, and I already knew where it was heading to, I already had an idea of how I wanted to market her and how I wanted her to present herself to the world, right? So I already know she's performing. She's also teaching, right? The teaching came first. And it started with having clips of her classes to where she ended up creating even her own clips and was editing them, posting them, letting people know, hey, come see me, come learn from me. That was a regular occurrence. Doing that as often as possible because the result was going to be what? Getting more people in her classes. So when you are showing the thing that you want people to be able to be a part of, and you're giving them a call to action saying, hey, you need to be able to ensure you know how to come to see me, come learn from me, they're going to do the steps that need to be done to be able to get that result. Okay, so that's why it's very, very important. You have to put rules in place. You have to put steps in place to make sure that you are getting the results that you need. Not anybody else is asking for, but the ones that you need. Okay, so that was one thing. That's the content, right? Then we go to the engagement, the audience engagement. So that is going to be a couple of things. That could be online, social media. So she makes the post, people comment under the post, she responds to the post, responds to the comments. They're having conversations, they're asking questions, they might go into the DMs. She may have a link that may be able to be clicked on. So they're also clicking on that link. That she may have something she's sending to them in the DMs on where to go to sign up for these set of classes, right? That's an option as well. And then another thing is, it could also be where the content she's posting is not just of her, it's of her as well as the people in her classes. So now people are seeing, oh shit, other people are actually going to these events. Let me showcase these other people with their consent, of course. Now they are seeing that there are other people in this class that look just like me that are actually in these classes. Now let me go ahead and sign up and bring a friend too, right? So now you're getting more people involved because of that engagement. Okay, and then over time, you do this enough, your fan base is going to grow. That's what happened with her ultimately, is it grew. The fan base grew all on multiple platforms. And not only that, she knew how to promote herself. So a thing that I always tell my clients, people that work with me, performers especially, is when you have a video of your performance, your latest performance, whatever it may be, I never encourage posting the full thing. Reason being is that if they didn't buy a ticket to go to this particular show, they should not be able to see the full thing. If you're trying to grow a business and trying to really build your brand, right? If you're posting your full video every time you perform, then you're not really trying to build a brand. You're just trying to show what you did, right? When you could just do that if it's a class, for example. You could just do that if you're learning a new trick, but not an actual performance that you haven't spent months, possibly weeks. Some of us, we just, freestyle it, but it be what it be. But at the same time, it's you showing your best on that show, the best that you possibly can during that show. So for you to just post a full thing is like you're just giving it away for free, when there are people that spent money, that came and tipped you physically, that showed up, that bought your tickets in your honor. So it's like the people that are online, again, if you're building your personal brand, they really should only get a clip. They should get a snippet. They should get maybe the best part that you felt that you were most proud of, 30 seconds, maybe a minute, right, of that. If you want to do a recap of that, you can do a recap of the whole thing without it being the whole thing, okay? So that way it brings up anticipation. It makes people desire to want to be at the next show. Because if I'm seeing all your shows in my face on social media and I didn't ask you for it, you just posting it every time, it's not going to make me want to go to your next show. I'm going to be like, well, she's going to post it anyway. I'll watch it there, right? But you want people to be in person. It's a different experience in person, and you need to be able to showcase that in your video, okay? So that's why I say clips. Please do clips as much as you can. I get it. You guys might be very, very proud. And I've done it. I've done performed at a show. I loved it so much. I posted a full video. But after that, I ain't did it again. And I got clips to this day. I will repost over and over and over again. But not only because I enjoy them and I love them, but because I knew that they got a lot of attention. Even with Jada, I'm also telling her, hey, that did so good 6 months ago. Repost that same video today. It's going to hit again, especially if you're trying to promote a show, which is going to bring me to my next topic, helping Jada promote even her shows. Same concept. What's the goal? We want to be able to get people to go to the shows. We want to get people to buy more tickets. What is it that we want them to see? In this case, you want them to see what the show is going to be, what the show is going to entail. What is the theme of the show? Okay. Once you find out what the theme of the show, that's gonna tailor how you're gonna market for this particular event. Hold on. So if you have a particular theme for your show, then you might say, you know what? My theme is red, just randomly, just a color. My theme is red, right? Or red shoes. We'll say red shoes. So now what you want to do, for example, what do people want to see? Red shoes. So you're going to grab a bunch of red shoes, probably put them all over you, maybe do a photo shoot. If you can do that, you got a friend around, I got a camera. It doesn't need to be anything expensive or crazy. It could just be something simple. Get you a friend that got a camera. Take pictures of what you around red shoes, or red shoes around you, or red shoes on your feet. Take pictures of the shoes specifically. Take pictures of you taking the shoes off. Take pictures of whatever that may be. Maybe then do a video of you doing all of that. It's in the video. Now you got 4 pieces of content at least to be able to promote for this said show. The more content you create and it comes to the theme of the show, the better. I will say this. I personally do not care for just seeing flyers and videos every single time when you are trying to promote a show. I need to see things that are related to the theme. That's a personal preference, but it's also because of what I know, what will get other people to want to go to your show. Because if all they're seeing is the flyers and a video clip, flyer, and that's it, then they're not going to be and they're not going to want to try to engage in it as much. So you want to do something different. So one thing I've had Jada do in the past, she had it was a bedtime chronicles show here in our city. So, which was great because we already knew a lot of people from the city, but they gave it a theme. So everybody was like, oh, I want to dress up, right? So now I was like, well, you should create a video to where you're having multiple outfits that you can show people, hey, this is what you could wear at my show. Then it gave people the excitement of, oh shit, I can find that. I can go on Temu right quick. Let me go on Shein. Now they have ideas. Now it's making them also want to be a part of the same event. You see what I'm saying? So it's more than just, oh, there's an event coming up. This is the link. Sign up. Like, no, I need you to feel like you're gonna be a part of this show, even if you're not performing. Your presence is gonna be important, and this is why. Okay. Then of course it goes to event awareness. Then you go into ticket sales, attendance, all of that connects, right? And of course you got your other behind the scenes when it comes to email listing. If you have a text message list, you can definitely do that as well if you have that kind of campaign going on. And then ultimately just doing it on a consistent basis. If you know people that are in the area that you're trying to go to, reaching out to them, having conversations with them, try and see if you can collab even with the studio that you may be having an event with. See that could also help you when it comes to gravitating more eyes on your show. It's a variety of things you can ultimately use, but those would be your highest and most important assets to be able to really get it to grow the way that you want. All right. Now, to build your own system, as I said, start from backwards. What result do you ultimately want? What is it that you need to see for your personal brand, your business, right? It could be clients. It could be getting more fans. It could be building a community, right? Now, what do they need to do so you can have those results? Do you need somebody to book you and actually put a down payment on something, a deposit on something? Do you need somebody to go ahead and click on a link, right? Do you need them to buy? Do you need them to give you an email? Do you need them to join your Patreon, for example? Do you need them to follow? Do you need more followers, right? Do you need more views? Do you need them to share it with a friend? The result that you're needing, how do you connect that from the action that you're asking your viewers to do to be able to get you that result? Okay, so that's going to be determined. That's going to help us determine what actions is going to take to get to that result, right? So in this case, they discover you, right? So they see you on Instagram. Now, they see you enough on Instagram, they're building trust. From there, as we know, some people got to see you about 10, 20 different times before they decide to buy something. Once they see you enough, they say, you know what, let me go ahead and purchase this. I've seen it so many times, and I know she knows what you're talking about. Let me go ahead and try it out and just see what happens, right? So now, those are going to be those steps, the actions that can be taken towards your result, all right? So now, it's going to be determining on what your content is, what steps is your content supporting. Let me explain. When I say what steps is your content supporting, that could be, of course, education. Is it an educational piece, right? Is it you showing a result of proof of something? If you say, hey, I've gotten this many clients and this amount of time, and you're not showing proof of it, do you think people will understand it? Do you think people will trust you? Right? Storytelling, being able to tell a story, telling maybe how you got to the place that you are right now, how you haven't helped somebody else get to the place that they are in this same moment, right? Is it a promotional piece? Is it just a flyer? Is this a video promo? Like those types of things. Like I just recently got somebody had reached out and said that hey, they wanted a promo video so that way they could start promoting themselves even more. Like having those things available, because not only are they important, but they're going to help you get to that next step, right? Because again, that's one piece. That's one piece, a part of the system. Okay, so those are the things I feel like you should write down and you should really start analyzing. And at the end of the day, once you write all these things down and you know where you want to go, you know what steps people need to take to get to where you want to go, and then you also know what kind of content you're actually creating, I would suggest put those in ChatGPT. Right now, when people are using Claude, go ahead and put it in Claude. Put in whatever your AI is and ask them, hey, can you help me create a system so that I can reach this result? Give them what you're already doing and then tell them this is where you want to get. All right. And then they'll break it down for you on what you need to do based on those things. So now we're going to explain. Excuse me. Now we're going to explain why most people struggle. Okay. Most people struggle. Again, we went through this earlier. Because they post randomly, all right? They're just posting whatever, wherever, okay? They're chasing trends. I do this sometimes, but not all the time. Sometimes the only trends that I post, at least for me, are the ones that relate to me. I don't follow everything because everything ain't for me. And everything, if I try to jump on everything, it's going to show that I'm trying to do everything, and it's going to look bad for me. So I'd rather it make sense, whether I'm creating my own trend or I am following a trend that I actually like. Okay, so other thing is when people are copying other creators. I know I've heard this before. People be like, hey, you know what, just copy me. Just do what I do. Or copy the millionaire that you want to be. Follow the steps that they've taken in their life, right? And you definitely still can. I'm not going to tell you how to do that. But ultimately, when it gets down to the nitty gritty, what makes you different? You can't copy everything. So something is going to have to stand out. What will be that thing that's going to make you stand out? Okay, that's what I want you guys to really think about, right? But even so, doing all those things is clear that you don't have a system. And that's okay because you can create one, okay? But I will say some of those things, everything that I just mentioned, actually, they will help when it comes to, of course, getting you views, even followers, right? And I have seen this as well, where you're doing the thing that you're showing ass possibly, or showing certain things that people, that you know is going to blow your page up, but you're not really really about that life, for one, or two, it's just not something that you normally would do, which kind of go into the first one, but it doesn't connect to what your true essence is, okay? So it's either you ain't really about that life, or it doesn't connect to what your brand is about, okay? So you're just doing it to get the views. So now you're confusing your audience. You can't do that. Once you confuse your audience, they're going all types of different ways. Then they start falling apart, and ultimately not engaging to the point where they start unfollowing. So this is why it makes sense to have a clear intention, a clear system. I get it. Every post is not going to have a call to action. Every post is not going to be so clear that it's going to be very, very intentional. Some things are just going to be just something for you to post in that moment. But even those posts still have an intention. They still have a result they're going to bring. They could bring you views for that particular moment, because you already know the post I make after that, that's going to be the one that's going to reel people in and say, hey, I know you watched my last video, but here's what I really want you guys to do, right? So this is those things that you have to kind of understand how to use and manipulate, understanding people in the sense of, so the psychology of it, understand the psychology of it, so you can ultimately make it work for you, okay? So again, you could get views, you can get follows, but then you might not get no sales or clients. But it serves its purpose if you use it the right way, okay? So now, a simple system formula that you can use. This will be the formula that I would suggest you guys could use, right? So first, building content. Build content nonstop. Don't stop. Create content no matter what. I don't care if it's once a day, 3 times a week, 3 times a day. If you do once a week, that's fine, but make sure you keep up with it. And if you're doing that also once a week, make sure that it's like a very impactful video for once a week, okay? Just because people's attention span, as you guys already know, all right? Then, of course, as you build that content, people are going to continue, they're going to start trusting you. They're going to start seeing, hey, this person knows what they're talking about because they're showing up every single day, right? How you doing? Thank you so much for joining in. All right, I you trying to play around with me. But today we're just talking about how to build a system, basically a marketing system, right? So I'm going through right now over a simple formula people can use, which is ultimately building that content. Go ahead and get that content out there as much as you can. Once you build that content, people are going to start getting used to seeing your face. Then they start trusting you. For example, me, right? I show up every Monday. I don't care who's on here. I show up every Monday, but people know that. People will tell me, yo, I didn't get to show up this time and see you, but I know you're going to post. I know you're going to have something for me, and I do, okay? Because I know that's what it is. So they trust me. Then creating that action. That action is going to be, hey, either you're going to follow me, or you're going to go to YouTube and watch the replay when it's done, or you're going to join Patreon because you want to get more in-depth information on it, because you know how I'm going to ultimately rotate all the content, right? And then eventually the results. In this case, for me, the result could be more signups on my Patreon, could be more views on my YouTube videos. It could be more bookings, ultimately, because people are saying, okay, she's been doing this a lot. She talks about this a lot. I don't see anybody else doing it. And also, we start filling in that gap, it sets you apart as well, too. So pay attention to that. If you want to do something and you see there's a gap for it, be the person to fill in that gap. You'll be surprised on how much that's actually needed and how many people are scared to do it. Okay, so, and at the end of the day, that's the formula. It's nothing too difficult. Content, trust, take that action, and then get your results. Repeat that process, and it's gonna grow and it's gonna do well for you. Right. So with that being stated, I did put in the on my pen, what are the results people are looking for in their business. All right. So if you see this video, wherever you're seeing this video at, put in the comments what are the results that you are looking for in your business. What do you want your business to ultimately gain and grow with over time? All right. So that way it can give you make you feel that the prosperous that you want to be. Okay. Then once you do that, of course, you'll start knowing how to break down your system. The system is very, very important. All right. So with that being stated, for those of you that are catching this later, as you guys know, watch my replay on YouTube. All right. That's exactly where I'm going to put it at. And then I'll have some more in-depth stuff on my Patreon ultimately. So you guys can definitely check that out as well. So if you want more deeper breakdowns of marketing strategy, content systems, and how I actually run my campaigns for my clients, that's where you want to go to inside of my Patreon. All right. And that's pretty much it. So if you guys have any questions for me, definitely let me know. I will break them down as best that I can. And I will catch you guys on the next one. All right.